You wonder how much of that might be the rainy and chilly conditions, because Beeman out of the slot did have a step. One wide to either side, pistol set again, and the handoff now is to Brown. Has a blocker in front across the 30, pushing forward to the 35, and tackled there by Wells as he stretches across, 25 and down to the 24-yard line. So a gain of 3 or 4 here on first down, or second down rather, brings up 3rd and 7. 4 rushes, 1 pass here in the early going, but now 4 wideouts in the formation, 3 to the far side, 1 to the near, ball on the near hash. Pistol set, Pickett takes, and he gives off to Brown. Pickett got hit, but Brown has the football and moves inside the 20, but he'll be short of the first down. And so that was down and 2, and now a decision to make for Mark Dixon. He loves the leg of Eduardo Ortiz, who this season is 4 of 5 on field goals. I'm told he has the range up around 50 yards. And it will be Ortiz coming on for the field goal. So the ball at the 20-yard line, it will be a 37-yard attempt. Of those field goals this season, he's 3 of 3 inside 30 yards, 1 of 2 beyond 30. Ball just inside the near hash. Here's the snap. It's high, but placed down nicely. Kick from Ortiz is up. It's on the way, and it is no good. Missed it wide to the left. He had plenty of leg on it, but Ortiz tugged it ever so slightly. And so Galax unable to convert off the turnover, and they give it right back to George Wythe. Ball will be at the 20-yard line. 8 minutes, 44 seconds to play. Opening quarter, 7-0 Maroon Tide on the 63-yard touchdown scamper from Denver Brown. Simmons in shotgun, 2 wide to either side. Simmons takes, drops back, looks to throw. Still moving left, flushed out. Belcher chasing him. Simmons running. Far sideline up to the 20. Got back to the original line of scrimmage and now up to the 25. And we'll see where he stepped out. They mark him at the 27-yard line. And once again, Simmons showing that scrambling ability. This season, we told you about the 2,400 passing yards. He also rushed for nearly 900 and 7 touchdowns. So that's the second broken play that he's been able to turn into positive yardage. And it brings up second down and 3 with 8:33 to play, and Galax with a 7-0 lead. 2 wide to either side. Now McMillan motions tight to the formation. Here's the snap. And on the read option keeper, it will be kept by Simmons straight up the middle. And it looks like he's close to the first down marker. It depends on the spot. He needed the 30-yard line, and that's exactly where he got to. So he will pick up the first down. 3-yard gain when he needed 3. And it's the first down of the ball game for the Maroons. George Wythe moving from left to right in their visiting white uniforms, maroon helmets. Simmons in shotgun, flanked by Wells to his right. And now some movement up front. Galax on defense pushed into the line, but did they move on offense first? Here's the call from the official. It's offsides on the defense. And so the penalty will push the ball up to the 35-yard line, where it will be first down and 5. 44 degrees, heavy rain here at kickoff. Here's the shotgun snap. Simmons quickly fires it out far side. The pass is caught there by Davion Tillison. He's up near the first down marker, looks to have it across the 40 and out to about the 42-yard line, where he's bumped out of bounds. Wythe again fumbled on their first series of the game. Actually fumbled it twice, but got the first one back. And here on the second series, aided by an offsides penalty, starting to move the ball a little bit more methodically and effectively. 4 wide in the formation, 3 to the near side. Now Thompson, who is the furthest to the near side, motions across the formation far slot. Simmons drops back, looks to throw. Rolling near side, still rolling. Pressure coming from Peoples, and he fires it out of bounds near side into the Galax bench and incomplete. That will bring up second down and 10. 7:48 to play, 7-0 Maroon Tide on top first quarter. Here in the regional final, Galax last season made it to the state semis where they lost to Chilhowie. Burton, the team playing Patrick Henry in the other regional today, defeated Chilhowie last week. Burton 10-2 on the season. Patrick Henry undefeated at 12-0. And again, they're playing alongside of us here this afternoon. 3 wide near side, ball on the far hash with Simmons in shotgun. And again, it's motion from Thompson near to far. Simmons takes the snap, drops back. Steps up in the pocket, pressure coming. He's under duress, breaks out of a tackle. Pursuit comes, he's still on the run, back to his own 20. And he's slipping out of another tackle, but they'll finally get him inside the 20-yard line. Brendan Bryson stayed with him and dragged him down for a big loss on the play. That's about a 22-yard loss. All the way back to the 19-yard line is where they'll spot it. It'll be 3rd down and 30 upcoming. Well, he certainly has the playmaking ability to slip out of tackles, but he kept going the wrong way. Backpedaling, he kept his eyes downfield, nothing was open, and instead of getting rid of the football, he just took a sack, and now penalty marker flies, and it looks like there was delay of game on the play. And a timeout was taken first. So Brandon Harner, the head coach for the Maroons, takes time with a 3rd down and 30 upcoming. Now, if you were with us last week, Galax in the second half, with a couple of penalties, managed to get their own offense into a 4th and 43 before connecting on a wide receiver screen pass, which resulted in an 86-yard touchdown to Zach Johnson. We'll see if a screen is what Brandon Harner has in mind on the other side. The Maroons looking for their first state semifinal appearance since 2016. George Wythe won the state title in 2002 and 2012. Galax in 2015. Seven 0 Maroon side. They took the opening series and they scored on it, a 63-yard touchdown run from Denver Brown. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 30, ball on the 19. They need to get across midfield. 2 running backs in the backfield on either side of Simmons. Low snap, ball loose. Galax looks like they've fallen on it, and they have. Lee Peoples comes away with the fumble. Second turnover from this Galax defense, and they start their 3rd series already inside the red zone. We talked about the potential weather implications today. It hasn't been an issue throwing the ball down the field, but it has been an issue on snap exchange and handoff exchange. And Galax, the beneficiary, they start at the 18 of George Wythe. 1 wide to either side. Pickett in the pistol. Bryson, the up back, and a penalty marker flies right at the snap. And an early indication is this one is on the defense. It is offsides, and that will push the ball further towards the goal line. So now the ball spotted at the 9. It will be 1st down and 5. They need to get just inside the 5-yard line for a 1st down. Pistol set, Keatley near side, Johnson far. Brown the tailback, and the handoff to Brown. He's up the middle, looks to have the 1st down as he bulldozers his way forward, and he's marked down maybe just a half a yard short. They mark him at the 5. He needed about the 4.5. It'll bring up 2nd down in inches, and it looks like they want to sneak it. Pick it up under center. He'll take it. He'll push forward, and he's got the 1st down, still on his feet, almost to the goal line. He's down to the 1. Pickett this season, 12 rushing touchdowns. A lot of them have been quarterback sneaks. He's not as fast as Simmons, but he can certainly move the pile. It looks like they want to do it again. He's up under center, pushing forward. Offensive line and running backs helping. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Galax. That was like the Bush push. They got Brown and Bryson behind him and the offensive line in front, and just steered Cole Pickett into the end zone. And Galax, pending the extra point, ahead 13-0 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to play first quarter. Here's Ortiz on for the point after. Snap, ball placed down, the kick is on its way, and the kick is through. So Ortiz adds the extra point. He's now 60 of 65 on extra points this season. That's better than 90%. And Galax in the first quarter, a 14-0 lead. That time taking advantage of great field position and needing only a few plays to get into the end zone. They were also aided by that offsides penalty, which pushed them 5 yards closer, but they started the drive already in the red zone. And for Cole Simmons and this Maroons offense, falling down 14-0, it will likely necessitate throwing the ball a lot more, which is going to be tough to do in these conditions. Ortiz has the ball teed up on the 40 on the near hash. McMillan and Wells standing in between the 10 and the 15, awaiting the return. Here's the run up by Ortiz, and the boot. High and over end near side. It will be taken there by McMillan at the 15, running up the middle, 20, 25, angling far side, now cutting up the 32-yard line. So decent field position on a return of 17 yards. Offense will start once again. 2 series and 2 fumbles offensively. Galax has been able to recover 2 of the 3 fumbles actually that have resulted. The other big play was a sack that placed them in a 3rd and 30. First play is a handoff to give us to Wells up the middle. Pushing forward, bounced off 1 tackle inside the 40 and taken down at the 39. So Wells starting to get in rhythm. He's gotten about 5 yards on each of the last 3 carries. Got 6 that time. It will bring up 2nd down and 4. Two wideouts to either side. Thompson and McMillan to the near side. Wells the tailback, and again the give is to Wells. Not much doing this time. He's stacked up and thrown back. That time it was Daniel McKinney in there to make this stop. And it will be no gain on the play. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. .4:15 to play. Opening quarter. Big play right here, 3rd and 4. Simmons takes the shotgun snap. Quick throw near side, incomplete. He was trying to get it to his wide receiver, Dason McMillan, who was in the slot, but put a little too much steam on the pass. Just a quick throw into the flat, trying to get him out with some blockers in front. But the throw a little bit too hot to handle, and now they'll go for it on 4th and 4. Tillison out to the far side. Regelsberger slot on the far side. McMillan and Thompson to the near. Wells the tailback. Simmons in shotgun. He's dropping back to throw. Pressure comes. He's rolling near side. Started to escape, and now he's dragged down from behind and taken out of bounds. Flag on the play. Nolan Lawrence in there to make the tackle. Back at the original line of scrimmage, the 45. And we will await the penalty. The call is holding against the offense. It will be declined, and Galax will take over on downs. 2nd sack of Simmons. And again, it's all about the angles this defense takes, because Simmons has the escapability to get outside the pocket, but if they can cut him off as they did there and prevent him from turning up the field and getting down the sideline, they can really wreak some havoc. Johnson by his lonesome to the far. Pistol set. Here's the snap. And the handoff to Brown. It'll be a false start on Galax. So that will turn a 3rd down and 3 into a 3rd and 8. Again, the only pass that's been attempted so far from the Maroon Tide was the shot at the end zone early on. Galax offensive players turning to the signal callers, spread out against the near sideline. Against each wide receiver has a different set of signals in this spread look. Shotgun snap. Pickett looks to throw, heaves it deep down the far side of the field. Johnson, a diving catch inside the 20 and down at the 15. Incredible grab for Zach Johnson and a first down for Galax. He made a juggling catch last week that was sensational. This one even better. He finds a way to wow away the call. For now it's a touchdown. It would make it 20-0 Galax, but there is a penalty marker, and it looks like this one might be coming back. Holding against Galax. And that will result in repeating first down. The penalty marker came at the end of the play. So it looks like Galax actually picked up 2 yards in net. So it will be first down and 8, it looks like. Call it 7. From the 14-yard line. 1 wide to either side. Here's the pistol snap and the handoff to Brown. Running left, has a lot of running room. 15, trying to get to the edge. 10, 5, he does. Tiptoeing inside the pylon. Touchdown, Maroon Tide. Denver Brown, a 14-yard touchdown run. And it's 20-0 Galax with 1:46 to play in the first quarter. Three rushing touchdowns for the Maroon Tide in the opening quarter of play. And Ortiz on for the extra point. Here's the snap. Ball placed down. Ortiz with the right-footed boot. It's up and through. And it's 21-0 Maroon Tide. Everything's been set up by the defense since that opening scoring drive. Couple of fumble recoveries, then a sack on 4th down to turn the football back over. And Galax has scored on 3 of their first 4 drives of the ball game. Galax outgaining George Wythe so far 159-12 in terms of total offense. And that's 120-2 in terms of rushing offense. A frenetic start to this Maroon Tide offense. And while it is early, 1 game away from the state semis. Ortiz has the ball teed up. 22 touchbacks this season and 91 kickoffs entering play. Here's the run up in the boot. This one a little bit shorter near the 10, but it will bounce at the 10, but this one will hop sideways and out of bounds at the 2. Nearly a touchback, but a bad bounce, and it goes out of bounds. And so good field position to start for George Wythe. Again, Simmons has only attempted a couple of passes today. One completion to McMillan, the other incomplete in his direction. But they will start this drive at the 35. Shotgun formation. McMillan motions from right to left across the formation and stops to the left of the left tackle. Here's the handoff to Wells, straight up the middle. And he gets 3 yards on first down. Galax front 4 in there quickly to make the stop. Led on the play by Riley Jovaut, and the freshman has been sensational defensively this season. 87 solo tackles, 104 total, including 21 for loss in his freshman campaign. Second down and 7, a minute 15 to play first quarter, 21-0, Galax on top. 2 wide far side, 1 to the near. Wells gets the call up the middle again, and not a whole lot of running room. Got a yard as he's out to the 39-yard line, and now it will bring up 3rd down and 6. Brenda Rojas will come off the field. Nolan Lawrence will come on to get a little bit more speed in a passing situation. Empty backfield now for Simmons. 3 wide to the far side. two to the near side, with Wells, the tailback, in the slot to the near side. Simmons in shotgun. Play clock down to 7. Simmons takes it 4, drops back, pressure comes, heaves it deep down the middle of the field. It's tipped and incomplete. Nearly intercepted. An all-out blitz, and then they had the linebacker, Colby Barnes, dropping back to play free safety, and he nearly made the over-the-shoulder interception as the pass falls incomplete. It will be 4th down and 6 with 25 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Great call by Mark Dixon. Each of the last couple third downs, Simmons has bought time and tried to roll out. That time, they didn't give him any, and he had to get rid of it quickly and nearly threw an interception. So punt formation now. Ball at the 39, and Simmons will boot this one away. It's a low line drive. It will bounce at the 25 and bounce past Johnson down to the 10, and it will roll to a stop there as Johnson just wanted to get out of the way and make sure there was no repeat of what happened last week when he deflected a punt and it resulted in a fumble and a recovery. So it ends up being a 51-yard punt, no return, and Galax will take over 1st and 10 from their own 10 with 14 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. The only drive for Galax that did not result in points thus far, a missed field goal from 37 yards. Pistol formation, Pickett calls for the snap, and he will keep it on play action, fired out wide, dangerous throw, and it's broken up, incomplete. Intended for Johnson. Regelsberger, the coverage on the outside, and he nearly jumped it. And if he got in there a step sooner, he might have had a pick 6. Quick slant, and Regelsberger playing the inside of the pattern. It brings up 2nd down and 10 with 9.8 showing on the game clock here in the first quarter. 21-0 Maroon Tide. Pistol formation. 2 wide to the near side, 1 to the far. Here's the give to Denver Brown up the middle. Tons of running room. He's into the secondary. Up to midfield and off to the races. 40. Slips out of a tackle. 30. 25-20, 1 man to beat. Regelsberger shoves him to the ground and gets in. Stiff arm for the touchdown, Denver Brown. A 90-yard touchdown scamper, and it's 27-0 Tide, extra point pending. 1 man nearly got him from behind. It slowed him down to allow Regelsberger to get back in between Brown and the goal line, and Brown took him on head on and just shoved him aside and got in. A couple of phenomenal plays in this ball game. That from Denver Brown, the catch on the last drive from Zach Johnson as Ortiz boots the extra point through to make it a 4-touchdown first quarter, and that play coming on the final seconds of the quarter. That's the end of one. 28-0 Galax. We're back for the second quarter of play right after this. You're listening to Galax football from WCGX The Cat. McMillan takes the opening kickoff to start the second quarter after the touchdown and takes it out just shy of the 20-yard line. Matt Present back with you here from the Blue Ridge Tire and Auto broadcast booth. First quarter all tied, a couple of fumble recoveries. They score 4 times and they take a 28-0 lead. So Galax hot out of the gates, and again, they have not lost in this series since September of 2015. Last year, they knocked the Maroons out in the regional semifinals. Today, looking to do it in the regional finals. Simmons back with the offense on the field. He drops back 5, looks to throw. Plenty of time, now rolling near side. Stepping up, now looks to run across the 20. Slips out of a tackle, still going, angling far side 25. Still on his feet out towards the 30. And he probably ran for 50 yards on the play and got about 10. It's close to the first down, and he'll have it out to the 30-yard line. Great job by Simmons to be able to slip out of tackles, keep his head up, look down the field, and still be able to pick up the first down with his feet. Galax in the opening quarter, 249 yards of total offense to 16 for George Wythe. Again, the turnovers and a couple of sacks, a big part of it. 1st and 10, ball on the far hash. Simmons, a quick throw near side. Catch is made by Tillison. Slips out of one tackle, but the support comes. And Colton Barnes there to make the stop as he got across the 30 and out to about the 33-yard line. So a gain of 3 on first down will bring up 2nd down and 7. 11 minutes to play before the half, and Galax ahead by 4 scores. 2 wideouts to either side. Wells, the tailback, to the right of Simmons in shotgun. He takes the snap, drops back, looks to throw. Pressure coming, step up in the pocket, and he will be brought down right around the line of scrimmage. He started to run for it, and Colton Keatley, or Keaton Beeman rather, came up to make the stop. We talked about Beeman's play on defense last week, and against the triple option of Auburn, he was outstanding. He was the guy in charge of covering the pitchback. And he stayed in his lanes all game, made a handful of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. This one right at the line. Maybe a loss of half a yard. 3rd and 8 upcoming. 2 wide to either side with Wells, the tailback. Ball at the center of the field. Spotted at the 32. Simmons, pressure comes, stepping up. Evades the rush initially, now steps right into it. And he will be brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Tried to duck behind one of his offensive linemen and ran right into Andrew Belcher, who takes him down for no gain, and that brings up 4th down. So now a decision to make. And it looks like the Maroons will decide to punt. Tough to give Galax the ball back on a punt, but even tougher to give them great field position if you don't get it on 4th and long. So they will punt this one away. Simmons has it blocked right into the line. Chasing it down is Galax. They've got it at the 12-yard line. That wasn't so much blocked as it was just a really low punt. And Nolan Lawrence chases it down, and so Galax gets even better field position. They start at the 12. It looked like it was right into the back of one of the punt protectors. Although Galax did come with some heat. And they have a golden opportunity to add on to a 28-0 lead. Ball in the far hash, pistol formation, 2 out wide, low snap, and Pickett will just fall on it. It bounced to him, and he didn't want to take the risk of trying to scoop it and turn it into something. With the outstanding field position they already had, he'll just settle for the loss of 1. And it will be 2nd down and 12, it looks like. It says 2nd and 11 on the scoreboard, but the first down marker is at the 2, so they can get a first without scoring. Pickett looks to throw, fires it over the middle, tipped and nearly picked off. Pass was behind his intended man, Brendan Bryson, who was open, and it was nearly intercepted that time over the middle. Looked like it was Dason McMillan who nearly had the pick. He tried to tip it up to himself, and the pass fell incomplete, so now it's 3rd down and 11 from the 13. One of the rare times that Pickett has made a truly poor throw. Sometimes he won't complete passes, but that time didn't give his man a chance. On third down, a draw call, and it will go to Brown up the middle. Not much running room. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all he'll get. And now the field goal unit coming out for Mark Dixon. Ortiz missed a 37-yarder earlier. He's now 4 for 6 overall this season. It was just his second miss of the year. Ball on the 13, so this will be a 30-yard attempt. From the far hash, Colton Keatley, the holder. Ball placed down, the kick is on its way, and this time it is through. So Ortiz adds the field goal, and Galax adds on to their lead. It's now a 31-0 lead with 7:55 to play in the first half. So Galax now has scored on 5 of their first 6 possessions offensively. Meanwhile, for the Maroons, 2 fumbles, a blocked punt, and a turnover on downs. Denver Brown already over the 200-yard mark. He has a 63-yard touchdown run and a 90-yard touchdown run. High end over end to the center of the field, and it will be taken there by McMillan. Up to the 15, 20, angling near side 25, out to the 30, and he's dragged down from behind at about the 33-yard line. So decent field position, but again, a lot of is bobbled and incomplete. That's Luke Jolly. There are 2 different Jollies on this George Wythe team, Luke and his brother Ben. Defense to jump. Second offsides penalty called against Galax today. Again, last week they were really bitten by penalty. 13 for 140 yards. At the 45 of George Wythe as they move from right to left. Here's the snap. Simmons looks to throw. Pump fake. They're clearly trying to still pass the ball. Others take off and run immediately. Simmons kind of does a hybrid where he's bouncing around in the pocket but doesn't necessarily commit to one or another. And that's what makes him so dangerous. 6:33 to play here in the second quarter. 31-0 Galax on top. 2nd and 7. Simmons back to throw. Fires it deep down the middle of the field, and the pass is incomplete. It was too tall for Thompson, who was able to reach up and get a hand on it and likely prevent an interception as Beeman was there at the safety position behind him. But the ball was tipped up in the air and fell incomplete. And that brings up 3rd down and 7. Interesting to see here if Brandon Harner tries to get a few yards and set up a 4th down and manageable, or if they try to get all 7 here on 3rd down with the ball 2 yards shy of midfield. Ball on the far hash, 2 wide to either side. Wells the tailback just to the right of Simmons. Simmons on the option will keep it up the middle. Little bit of running room across midfield and not much more. He's wrapped up by Beeman and dropped at the 49-yard line of Galax, so he does get 3, maybe 3.5. And now it will set up 4th down and manageable. It will be a 4th down and a long 3. Thompson and McMillan split out to the far side. Jolly and Tillison to the near. Shotgun formation, ball at the center of the field. Simmons drops back, fires it near side, caught by Tillison. He has the 1st down, trying to drag some tacklers forward, and does, all the way down to the 39-yard line. Had Pickett and Sawyers on his back, and Brendan Bryson there as well. The 3 of them converge, and Tillison, who's 6'2", 175, able to get the 1st down and pick up a few more, although it looks like he might be a little bit shaken up. He's bent over following the play, but stays in the ball game. 2 wide to either side. Simmons staring to the sideline across the way to get the call. Play clock at 10. Simmons doesn't appear to be in any hurry. He takes the snap at 6, drops back 3, dancing in the pocket, looking downfield, now flush near side. He's going to run for it across the 40, and he will get out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He'll pick up 3, and that will bring up 2nd down and 7. Actually, they'll give him 2. They'll mark it at the 37, but he started at the 39. This is the furthest into Galax territory that George Wythe has made it so far today. Tillison near side, 3 wideouts far side with the ball in the near hash. 5:05 to play, 31-0 Galax second quarter. Simmons takes the snap, quick throw out far side, catch is made by Jolly, and the defense read it well, ball is out, and Galax has it. Pickett punched it out, and Keaton Beeman recovers. Turnovers galore for Galax here in the opening half. That's number 3 in terms of fumble recoveries. They've also blocked a punt and taken it on downs, and Galax gets it back just on their side of midfield. They'll take over at the 43. 31-0 and a chance to add on before the half. Ball on the far side of the field, 1 wide to either side. Pickett in the pistol takes the snap. Play action fake, looking to throw. Fires it deep down the center of the field. Has a man. Johnson with the catch at the 25. He's off to the races. 10-5 touchdown Maroon Tide. A 57-yard touchdown strike on the first play from scrimmage. And Galax has now made it a 37-0 game with 4:49 to play here in the opening half. Zach Johnson this season has made so many big plays. In fact, entering the game, 19 of his 35 catches were for touchdowns. That's his 20th score of the season. He made a great diving catch earlier as Ortiz boots through the point after, and Galax advances their lead to 38-0 with 4:49 to play. Our scoring recap brought to you by Ice Collision and Custom Paint, your hometown specialist for collision repair and custom paint projects. Ice Collision, located 1 mile from I-77 between Jeff Johnson Chevrolet and Horizon Rental. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 276-728-4330 to schedule an appointment today. That's 276-728-4330. Ice Collision and Custom Paint, supporting the Tide Pride. So after the fumble recovery, 1 play, 57 yards, the connection from Pickett to Zach Johnson. Cole Pickett now has a rushing touchdown and a throwing touchdown so far, to give him 13 rushing touchdowns and 34 passing touchdowns on the season. Ortiz once again will kick off. The run up and the boot. End over end, far sideline. McMillan racing towards it. He'll let it bounce, and this one will skip inside the pylon and into the end zone for a touchback. So Ortiz with great precision that time on the kickoff to place it where no one could return it. And now the Maroons will take over at the 20-yard line with 4:49 to play. Galax in the first half so far, 20 plays for 305 yards. George Wythe, 30 plays for 48. The explosives have been there all season. Today a couple for Zach Johnson and a couple for Denver Brown, including a 90-yard touchdown run. Here's the snap and the handoff, running wide as well. He's trying to get to the edge, and he's strung out, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by the Galax defense. Lee Peoples and Daniel McKinney lead the charge. And it looks like he did get back just about to the line of scrimmage, right there at the 20-yard line. So 2nd down and 10 now. Clock rolling inside 4:20 to play here in the opening half. 38-0 Galax on top. Again, they won the first meeting in this series by a final score of 45-14, October the 18th. Here's the snap. A trick play, a throw from the running back, and this is McMillan connecting downfield. He's got Tillison across midfield and out to the Galax 40-yard line. A reverse pass, and McMillan going southpaw down the field, and Tillison picks up the first down and more all the way down to the 38-yard line. So Brandon Harder going deep into the playbook. His offense needed a spark, and they get it. And they get into Galax territory, first down and 10. McMillan had thrown a few passes this season, but we didn't see it last time these two teams met up. But he's a guy who's involved in all three phases: rushing, receiving, and passing. Simmons takes the shotgun snap, throws it out to Wells in the flat, led him too far, and the pass is incomplete. Again, there have been a few passes today from Simmons to either flat where he's just put too much steam under it. Certainly has an arm to connect deep down the field, but on a pass like that, you just want to get it out and get it into the hands of your running back, not make it a challenge to reel in the pass. Second down and 10 from the 38 of Galax. Maroons moving from right to left. Bunch formation, trips far side, one to the near is Tillison. Wells motions out of the backfield, and I believe it was a legal formation as a flag comes in at the snap. False start call on the offense. It will back them up 5. Up until this series, George Wythe had only gotten it into Galax territory twice. One resulted in a fumble, the other a sack that brought them all the way back inside their own 20. Too wide to either side, ball in the near hash. It's spotted now at the 43. 3:18 to play, opening half. Simmons in shotgun, Wells to his right. Shotgun snap and a look to the far side. Now he'll tuck it and run, and he's dragged down by Peoples. Spins away actually, but the rest of the defense comes, and he gets past the original line of scrimmage out to the 37-yard line. Injured player down on the field, and the clock is stopped. One of the offensive linemen is down. That's Javian Jackson, the 5'8 senior, 270 pounds, and everyone now dropping to a knee as he is laying on his back in what looks like it might be a knee injury. So as he is tended to on the field, we'll step aside. It's 38-0 Galax with 2:58 to play before halftime. And we're back after this. You're listening to Galax Football on WCGX The Cat. On 3rd and 9, Simmons looking to throw, didn't have much downfield, and he runs it wide and steps out of bounds. Lost 2 on the play out at the 40-yard line. Javion Jackson helped off the field under his own power. Were able to get up and walk, but he was draping an arm over One staff member on either side. Kennard Holbrook comes in to replace him at that right tackle spot. And now it will be a 4th down and 12. Ball at the Galax 40-yard line. Maroon Tide leading it 30-0, 2:35 to play. Motion man Regelsberger. Simmons rolling out near side on play action. Sets his feet at the 50. Heaves it deep down the near sideline. The pass is intercepted. Johnson has it at the 15. Running back across the far side of the field, 20. 25, and he will be dragged down at the 26-yard line. Zach Johnson with an interception now in back-to-back weeks. And that was just a jump ball, and Johnson came away with it. On 4th and 12, it serves as a punt. But Simmons, who rolled back to the midfield stripe, just had to try to make something happen. And he throws an interception to Johnson. So Zach Johnson, who has a 57-yard touchdown catch on offense, another diving catch for a chunk play, and now gets the football back for his offense. Ball spotted at the 25 far hash. Pistol formation, and the give is to the tailback. That's Denver Brown straight up the middle, pushing forward out to about the 30-yard line. And so it's a gain of 5 on 1st down. Brown again, if you're just joining us, up over 200 yards total rushing the football already today. A 90-yard touchdown run, a 63-yard touchdown run.
Go, 15 seconds.
1:42 to play here in the opening half. Pistol set again, 2 wide far side, 1 to the near. Play clock at 5 as Pickett takes. He's looking to throw. Dumps it over the middle of the field. He's got Bryson, and Bryson up to midfield to the 40. One man to beat, and he's dragged down inside the 30 at the 25-yard line. Ravon Wells saved a touchdown, but Bryson, the tight end, slipped out in the open over the middle and was left alone. And off play action, Pickett found him. 1st down and more for Galax. And they cross midfield, get into Maroons territory. And a big gain for the Maroon Tide. So 1st and 10, just outside the red zone. Ball at the 25 far hash. Pistol set, this time it's Beeman in the backfield. And Beeman will get the call running left. Slips out of one tackle and pushes forward inside the 20 and down to about the 19. Beeman last week, 19 carries, 221 yards, and 2 touchdowns after Denver Brown left the ball game with a neck strain. Beeman doubling his touchdown total and just about doubled his yardage total running the football this season, but he's also picked up 264 receiving yards and 3 scores through the air. He's in the backfield again. Play action this time for Pickett. He steps up under pressure, heaves it towards the end zone. Jump ball, and it's incomplete. 2 receivers and 2 defenders in the area. I'm not really sure who that was intended for, and it's really the first time, not only today, but in several weeks, that we've seen Pickett have to step up into the rush and deliver a throw. Tried to go for the end zone, and the ball knocked free, and it hits the turf, and with 49.3 to play in the half, Galax will have it now on 3rd down and 5. This would be a 37-yard field goal if they do not convert. Ortiz today 1 of 2 kicking the football. Hand off to Beeman running right. Cuts it up inside, slips out of a tackle, has the 1st down and more inside the 10, and he tumbles forward to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal as Keaton Beeman, slippery through the defense, picks up the 1st down. One wide out to either side. Here's the snap and the give to Beeman straight up the middle. And he pushes forward down to the 3-yard line. Wells makes the stop, but with 25 seconds left, Galax will not, well, now they will. I thought they were just going to get up to the line quickly, but instead Mark Dixon will use the first of his 3 timeouts. And based on how they played it earlier, I would think it'll be 1, maybe 2 quarterback sneaks with Cole Pickett to try to get into the end zone. Again, if they don't get it on 1 sneak, they do have 2 more timeouts. By the way, in the other game, a score update. They're into the second half. And Patrick Henry shutting out Burton 28-0 in the third quarter. Again, if Patrick Henry wins, they would host next week. If Burton somehow pulls off a comeback and Galax wins, the game would be played right here a week from today. 38-0 Maroon Tide with 23 seconds to play before the half. Second down and goal upcoming. Ball spotted at the 2. Bunch formation, one wide out to either side. Keatley far, Johnson near, and Simmons right up under center. Looks like he wants to sneak it. He will, pushing forward and not much doing there. He will get maybe a yard down to the 1. So Mark Dixon will call timeout, and I would suspect that they will do the same thing one more, maybe 2 more times. They do have another timeout remaining following this one. Galax has been dominant up front all season long. Daniel McKinney, Lee Peekbles, Andrew Belcher, Josh Brown, who has taken the spot of Isaac Hawks, and Riley Jovat, the front 5 for Galax. Not only have they protected the quarterback well, but they have created massive holes up front and can really assert their dominance in goal line situations like these. While we have a moment, want to thank all of our Galax football sponsors all season long: Aunt Restaurants, Blue Ridge Tire and Automotive, Chick-fil-A of Mount Airy, Galax City Tourism, Isom Collision and Custom Paint, Twin County Regional Healthcare, Twin County Tire and Auto, Bojangles, and Von Gwyn Funeral Home. Third and goal from the 1, 18 seconds to play, 1 timeout remaining for Galax. Pistol set this time, and they will hand it off, and a leap over the pile for Keaton Beeman. He's in. Touchdown Maroon Tide. Like a diver, leaving the blocks. And Galax continues to pile on just before the half. It's 44-0. Ortiz now in for the point after, as Beeman picks up his 3rd touchdown in the last 2 weeks. Here's the snap, ball placed down, the kick is on its way, and the kick is good. 45-0 Galax with 15 seconds to play. Keaton Beeman, he went with a modified pistol. It wasn't as far behind center as the traditional pistol would be. It looked like Pickett was about 2 yards deep and Beeman 4, and he got a running start and just dove over everyone. Cleared the entire offensive line and got into the end zone. So Ortiz will kick off. We'll see if George Wythe tries to set up anything on this return, given that with 15 seconds, they're going to need a great return to have a chance to score before the break. Galax got the ball first, so it will be the Maroons receiving the second half kickoff. But we're going to play the second half with a running clock with this 45-0 advantage. Here's the kickoff. It's high end over end to the center of the field, and it will be taken there by McMillan, cutting it near side 20, looking for running room up to the 25, and he's taken down there at about the 26, 27 yard line. Nolan Lawrence in there to make the tackle. So 9.5 seconds left. I would think that Brandon Harner would just have them kneel this one out, but we will see. Denver Brown, after not getting the carries that last series, was in on that last special teams play. He's back on the sideline right now. Looks a little bit hobbled. Last week dealt with the neck, and right now it looks like maybe his right leg. The handoff now to Wells, straight up the middle, and piled up at the line of scrimmage. Got a yard or 2, and that will take us to the end of the opening half. So Galax got the opening drive and got a 63-yard touchdown from Denver Brown. It's been big plays and dominance ever since. The defense getting 3 fumble recoveries. They blocked a punt. They've gotten a couple of big sacks, and the offense has continued to churn. 45-0 at the break. We'll break it down more on the halftime show coming up next. You're listening to Galax Football on WCGX The Cat. Matt President back with you here at halftime. It's 45-0 Maroon Tide as we take a look at the scoring recap for the opening half. Halftime sponsored by the City of Galax Tourism. And Galax got the opening series and they drove right down the field. And that courtesy of a 63-yard rushing touchdown from Denver Brown. Ortiz added the extra point. So after just a minute and a half, Galax led it 7-0. They would then get the ball back after a fumble recovery, and they would end up missing a field goal, so it stayed as a 7-0 lead. But minutes later, they would get the ball again. Cole Pickett ran in from 1 yard out, made it 14-0, and they ended the first quarter with another Denver Brown touchdown run, his second of 3, this one from 14 yards out, and Galax had a 21-0 lead at the end of 1. Second quarter, and on the very first play, Denver Brown from his own 10, a 90-yard run down the near sideline, extra point up and good, and Brown with over 200 yards here in the opening half, including 3 touchdowns. Ortiz would then add on a 29-yard field, 1-0 with 7:55 to play in the second quarter, and then Cole Pickett on the ensuing series on the very first play from scrimmage, after he punched out a fumble and Keaton Beeman recovered, connected with Zach Johnson on a 57-yard touchdown. That made it 38-0. Galax would get the ball one final time, and Keaton Beeman on third and goal from the 1 would leap over the pile and get into the end zone, and that made it 45-0 at the break. Your halftime recap is brought to you by the Blue Ridge Tire and Auto. They bring us every quarter recap, and here at the half, it's brought to you by Isom Collision and Custom Paint. Your hometown specialist for custom repair and custom paint projects. Isom Collision, located 1 mile from I-77 between Jeff Johnston Chevy and Horizon Rental. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 276-728-4330 to schedule an appointment today. That's 276-728-4330 for Isom Collision and Custom Paint. We'll come back, look at some of the team numbers, and then individual stats to follow. Again, Galax up big. It's 45-0 at the break. You're listening to Galax Football on WCGX The Cat. 45-0 Galax at the break. Halftime brought to you by the City of Galax Tourism. Some of the most enjoyable activities you can experience in Galax: a drive down quiet mountain roads, eating delicious foods, or taking in old-time mountain bluegrass music. A glimpse into the culture and history of our small city is one of the many simple pleasures that can be enjoyed in Galax. To learn more about things to do, places to eat, and events up and coming, go to visitgalax.com. That's visitgalax.com. You can also stop by the Visitor Center at 110 East Grayson Street. We'd love to have you. The Tourism Center wishes best of luck to all Maroon Tide sports. Roll Tide. First half numbers looks like this. Galax 28 plays for 380 yards. They've held the ball for 9 minutes and 7 seconds. 239 yards on the ground and 141 through the air. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. 10 first downs in the opening half, 7 rushing, 3 passing, 4 of 7 on third downs, 4 penalties for 25 yards, 1 sack for a loss of 23. As for George Wythe, 37 plays run in the opening half, 94 yards of total offense. They've held the ball for 14 minutes and 37 seconds, 27 rushing yards, 67 passing yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 fumbles, lost. They actually fumbled it 1 more time and got it back on that opening series. They've turned it over 4 times in total. 7 first downs, 3 rushing, 3 passing, 1 as a result of penalty. 2 for 5, 25% on third down, 1 of 3, 33% on fourth down, 2 penalties for 10 yards, 2 punts averaging 15 yards a boot. Halftime here at Galax, 45-0 Maroon Tide on top, and we'll look at the individual numbers when we come back. You're listening to Maroon Tide Football on WCGX The Cat. Matt President back with you here at halftime. 45-0 Galax leading George Wythe in the regional final. Winner gets the winner of the other regional final between Patrick Henry and Burton, and at last glance it was Patrick Henry in the third quarter with a 28-0 lead. So if they go on to win, the game next week, a week from today, will be played at Emory and Henry, with Patrick Henry hosting in that one. Taking a look at some of the individual numbers here in the first half. Cole Pickett for Galax, 3 of 7, 141 passing. That's a 43% completion rate. 1 touchdown, and it was that 57-yard bomb to Zach Johnson. Rushing, Denver Brown, 13 carries, 210 yards. And that's an average of 16.2 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns in the opening half. Keaton Beeman, 4 carries, 24 yards and a touchdown. Cole Pickett, 4 carries, 5 yards and a touchdown. They were all QB sneaks. Receiving, Zach Johnson, 2 receptions for 96 yards. That's an average of 48 yards a catch. He has a touchdown. The other was a even better catch, a diving catch on about a 40-yard grab. That was sensational. It moved the chains. It put Galax into the red zone. Brendan Bryson, 1 catch for 45 yards. Keaton Beeman has been targeted but has not yet made a catch. On defense, Brendan Bryson, Riley Joe Vaught each have 5.5 tackles. Bryson with also a sack and 2 tackles for loss. Lee Peoples and Keaton Beeman each with 3.5 tackles. Beeman with a tackle for loss. Zach Johnson with an interception, and a handful of other Galax players with at least 1 tackle in the opening half. Eduardo Ortiz, perfect on extra points, 1 of 2 in terms of field goal kicking. And once again, it's a 45-0 lead for Galax at the half. Halftime stats brought to you by Blue Ridge Tire and Automotive, your hometown garage. For auto repair, oil changes, new tires, tire maintenance, tune-ups, and inspections, all of your automotive needs. They're located at 1101 South Main Street in Galax, open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 276-238-0011. Blue Ridge Tire and Automotive in Galax. When we come back, we'll take a look at the rest of the playoff bracket and give you some notes on the playoff history among these two teams. It's 45-0 Galax at the break. You're listening to Maroon Tide Football on WCGX The Cat. Matt President back with you here at Galax High School. Maroon Tide shutting out George Wythe 45-0 here at halftime. And just to give you a little sense of the playoff history for these two teams, Galax has been in the playoffs 15 different times. 28-13 is their record, and 26 of those 28 wins have come under head coach Mark Dixon, who today is going for win number 100. And he's well on his way, with Galax again leading it 45-0 at the break. As for George Wythe, how they got here last week, defeating Narrows 56-28, overcoming a 21-7 deficit and scoring 49 unanswered. That followed a victory the week before over McClure 63-21. Their only other loss this season came to Radford. 45-23 was the final in that one. George Wythe leads the all-time series in this matchup, 24-21 and 2 all-time. And George Wythe in the playoffs, 32-19 in 22 all-time playoff appearances. Again, they've won state titles in 2002 and 2012. Galax won it in 2015. Last year, lost to Chilhowie in the state semifinals, and looking to get back there a year later. Galax again so far in the postseason has beaten Eastern Montgomery. That was in the opening week. 50-plus points put up on them. Last week it was a 56-14 victory over Auburn. They did trail at 7-0 early on, and then 14-7 at the end of the first quarter, but that was a lot of self-inflicted stuff early. They turned it around and came charging back. And so we take a look at the other teams still in it. One of the 4 regional finals was played last night, and Riverheads, who won the state title last year, and they're a perennial contender, they shut out Sussex Central 46-0. So Riverheads is in. They're waiting the winner of Essex and Rappahannock playing today. They're in progress. And of course, Galax and George Wythe, the winner of this one, will face the winner of Patrick Henry and Burton. And I misspoke before. It was not a 28-0 lead, but rather a 24-0 Patrick Henry lead over Burton, as they're at the end of 3 quarters, but still the game very much in hand for Patrick Henry, the 1 seed. Riverhead's also a 1 seed. Essex, the 1 seed in the Rappahannock region. So we have the potential to have all 4 number 1 seeds advance to the Final Four. Again, next week's game, assuming that the results or the leads that are in place right now stay final it would be at Emory and Henry next Saturday for Galax, and then the state title game is set to be played at 12 noon on December the 14th. That would be played at the Salem City Stadium, and that facility used for a whole lot of different stuff. Of course, you have the baseball field adjacent for the Salem Red Sox. You have the Salem Civic Center used for a lot of D3 and D2 basketball tournaments. So it's a centrally located point that's used for a lot of different things in the state of Virginia, and so that's where the state title would take place. There's 1 minute on the halftime clock, and George Wythe was huddled up in the end zone to our left. They have since left the field of play. I don't know if they went onto their bus to seek shelter from all this rain or if they went just behind their bus, but they're on the far side. They've disappeared from our vantage point. Galax now just making their way out of the locker room. So with the tough weather and the chilliness and the raininess, the team's not coming back on the field as quickly as they ordinarily would during halftime to get stretched out and get set for the second half. Once again, it's a 45-0 lead at the break. We'll take one final timeout here on our halftime show, and we want to remind you that halftime this week and every week is presented by the City of Galax Tourism. We'll come back for the second half of play right after this. You're listening to Maroon Tide Football on WCGX The Cat. Back with you at Galax, 45-0 Maroon Tide lead this regional final at the break. Galax players now back on the field getting stretched out, and we are just a couple of minutes from kickoff here in the second half. It's been dominance for the second half of the season for Galax, again, ever since that loss midway through, and it came all the way back on September the 27th to Northside. 42-28 was the final. Since then, Galax has been nothing short of dominant. 52-0 over Fort Chiswell, 45-14 against George Wythe. That was on the road, and that was the closest final since the loss. After that, 55-14 win over Auburn, 57-0 win over Grayson County, 56-7 win in the opening round against Eastern Montgomery, 56-14 win last week against Auburn, and right now it's 45-0 at the half. Galax received the opening kickoff, so it will be the Maroons who start with the ball in the second half. And with the lead of greater than 35 points in the second half, we will have a running clock until the end of the game or until that changes. Teams now just making their way back to the sidelines. Again, if you're just joining us, the weather here today is not ideal. Fortunately, it's a natural grass field, so there is no, muddiness or puddling to worry about. The field of play is just fine, but heavy rain, 40 degrees, it's damp, it's chilly, it's not a pleasant day by any stretch. And of course, a much more pleasant day for Galax, having this 45-0 advantage at the break. Looks like they've added some time to the halftime clock and maybe just giving the players a little extra time with the inclement weather here today to get stretched out or to have that time in the locker room. Galax back on the field. The Maroons players still kind of jogging out, getting their legs stretched back out as they work across the way on the far sideline. Galax in their home maroon uniforms, white numerals, and white helmets with the stripe down the middle, the number on either side. Maroon striping down either pant leg. For George Wythe, it's white tops and bottoms, maroon helmets with a big M on either side. Maroon numerals and minimal trim. It's almost exclusively white on the jersey. Maroon still taking their time getting stretched out. They're still, usually it's the 15-minute halftime, and then they'll add 3 minutes once the players come back out, but they've added a few more on top of that. And it looks like we're now just about ready to get this second half started. Want to again thank will be Wells to step up and take it at the 12. He will angle towards the center of the field, now reverse near side across the 20, stiff arms a man at the 25, and navigated out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Stiff arm went against Santana Sawyers, and then Johnson was the one who steered him out of bounds. Field position to start has not been the issue so far for the Maroons as they once again start beyond the 30. It's been what they've done with it after that, and again a slew of turnovers, a couple of big sacks, and a block punt have kept them off the scoreboard through a half of play. Ball in the near hash, 1st and 10 from the 32. Simmons takes the snap and the handoff to Wells straight up the middle, and not much running room. He's stacked up and pushed back. Lee Peoples and Andrew Belcher in there on the stop, along with Colby Barnes in pursuit. And they will give him a couple of yards on the play, just shy of the 40-yard line, a gain of almost 3. So he was able to push forward. They'll give him the forward progress before he was shoved back. We'll see if they start to go up tempo here. Simmons in shotgun takes the snap, and he will keep it on the option straight up the middle. And he'll push forward to the 38-yard line, and that will set up 3rd down and manageable. It will be 3rd and 4. Simmons has run a couple of times today, but most of those runs are runs where it's a read option, and he can either give to the running back wide or keep it up the middle. The non-design runs are when he scrambles and he gets outside of the pocket, and that's when he tries to get to the edge, and he has good speed, but he also has a tendency to backpedal. He now is looking to throw, fires it out wide. It's incomplete, too tall for Tillison, who is covered by Sawyers on the play, and it will now bring up 4th down. The first half, Simmons finished with 4 total yards rushing, so that includes the positive and the negative. But he took a couple of big sacks, and now they're getting set to punt this one away. Simmons doubles as the punter. Ball spotted at his own 38. Punt is away. It's end over end short. Bounces inside the 40, but skips forward, a favorable roll. And that will tumble all the way down to the 31-yard line. So the punt traveling 31 yards, no return. And Galax will get their first series here in the second half. Again, it's it should be a running clock. It stopped momentarily at 9:44 to play 3rd quarter with a 45-0 Galax advantage. Ball spotted far hash, 2 wide near side, 1 out to the far. Here's the snap. And the handoff to Brown, running far side across the 30 and spun forward out to the 31. A short gain there. Maybe a yard on the play. Looks like they'll say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd down.
Brown will check out. Keaton Beeman in as the tailback. Pistol set. Pickett takes the snap and bobbled on the exchange to Beeman, and Beeman able to get back and fall on it. It hit his arm or his chest and popped free, and it was lingering on the turf, and Beeman was able to put his foot on the ground and dive back towards the formation as he started left, and he fell on the football. It's a loss of 3 on the play, make it maybe 4 or 5 actually. It's 3rd down and 14. But Galax able to retain possession. That's not something that George Wythe was fortunate enough to have happen in the first half when they fumbled it away 3 times. Empty backfield, Simmons staying up in the pocket, and he'll be dragged down for a sack. That's the first time today that he's had the pocket close on him, and he's taken down for a loss on the play. Cody Davis led the charge and got in there to bring him down, and now the punt unit comes out for the first time today for the Maroon Tide. So the ball spotted at Galax's own 22-yard line. Low snap. Ortiz still able to get it away. Wells waiting back on his 40. It takes a bounce at the 45, and Wells will let it roll inside the 40. It's still rolling, and all the way down to the 36-yard line. So a favorable roll on the wanted to have the Maroon Tide re-kick. Illegal formation called on the kick. And so they will elect to have Ortiz boot this one again, and I'm interested to see if this pays off because it didn't look like Ortiz got all of it. He's got a big leg, and it looked like he, with the low snap, wasn't quite able to get into it. And while it did get a favorable roll, he does have the ability to really drive the ball. Right now, Wells standing back at the midfield stripe, and the punt will now come from the 18-yard line. And now whistles blow. And Mark Dixon wants a timeout. Wondering if there was an alignment issue that continued after the first penalty. Zach Johnson standing at his spot, motioning to the coach while everyone else is huddled up. And there seems to be some confusion, maybe where the line of scrimmage should be. Now the head referee is motioning to the official on the far side of the field. Mark Dixon all the way out towards midfield, but he's not talking to the officials, he's talking to his team. Interesting. Well, the ball now ready for play. Ortiz getting set to put this one in the air. Good snap this time, high hanging punt. And it will bounce at midfield, and Wells will let it roll inside the 40 to the 35, down towards the 30, and it will stop at the 31-yard line. Big boot that time from Ortiz. It's a 50-yard punt with the roll. And so the decision to have them re-kick does not pan out, as it's just about where they had it initially. I'm surprised Wells didn't catch that ball. It was in the air for a long time, and it was basically where he was standing, but he elected to turn and let it bounce by his side. 7:11 to play, third quarter. 45-0, Galax on top as Simmons and the offense come back out, and the first give is to Wells, straight up the middle. And he gets it out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 2 on first down. Now they'll call it 3 on the gain. 2nd and 7 now upcoming. 2 wide out to the far side, 2 to the near, ball on the far hash. Wells in the backfield. Now McMillan motions across, or rather that's Regelsberger, and it's an option keeper for Simmons straight up the middle. And he'll get it out to the 39-yard line, and so that will set up third down and short. It'll be 3rd and 2 as the yard to gain is the 41. Again, Simmons this season has now crossed the 900-yard rushing mark. Came into play over 2,400 yards passing, a school record in his career. No urgency here, play clock down to 8. It's now at 5. Simmons takes the snap at 3, drops back 3, looks to throw, lost it, and gets it back. Now it's poked free, and Simmons will fall on it. Belcher on the ground reached up and poked it away from Simmons as he went to get it back and throw it. It slipped out of his hands on the initial attempted heave. He got it back, and Belcher reached up and punched it away, and Simmons fortunate to fall on it. but it's a loss of 10 on the play. And so it will bring the punt team out. Ball at the 28, and Simmons will boot this one away. High side spiral. Johnson backing up will make the over-the-shoulder catch. Now he bobbles it, but gets it back at the 30, turning upfield, and he will be taken down at his own 28-yard line. So a good punt there that time from Simmons. It's a 44-yard boot, but a penalty marker is down on the play near the spot where Johnson started upfield, so potentially a block in the back. We'll await the call. Again, you can almost hear the rain through our crowd mic hitting the umbrellas. They're popped open all over the place in front of us and across the way. Ponchos out, tents out. And it's a delay of game called against Galax on the punt return. So it must have had something to do with what happened at the end of the play, not in the course of returning the punt. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 24. Pistol set, Pickett turns and hands to Brown. He's running right, has some running room up across the 25 and out to about the 27-yard line. It'll be interesting to see how much longer they keep Denver Brown in the ball game. Again, he was banged up last week, looked to be favoring his right leg earlier when he was taken out for a series, but has returned on both sides of the ball. Certainly the game well in hand. 45-zip, 4:25 to play here in the third quarter. Brown gets the call again, running near side this time, and he gets it up to about the 30-yard line, and that will bring up 3rd down and a long 4. Galax today on 3rd downs, 4 of 8, 50%. Offense turning towards the near sideline to get the play. Play clock now down to 10. Ball at the near hash at the 30-yard line. They need to get across the 34. Here's the snap. And a handoff to Brown straight up the middle, and he's dragged down. No gain on the play. Front 4 of the defense broke through quickly, and it looks like there's an injured player on the play. And so the clock will stop. That's Braden Thompson, I should say, the wide receiver who doubles as a defensive back, and he's on his right side, grabbing at his left knee. And the players on the field dropping to a knee on either side. So with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the third quarter, we'll take a timeout for the injury. Galax leading it 45-0, and we're back after this. You're listening to Galax Football on WCGX The Cat. So Thompson being helped off the field. It's 4th down and 2, and Galax will punt the ball away. It'll be Ortiz's second official punt, but 3rd overall in the ball game, because the last time he was out there, they had him repunt due to penalty. Right now, he'll be punting with the ball spotted at the 32 and him standing at his own 20. Couple of big injuries today for the Maroons. Javion Jackson and now Braden Thompson both being helped off the field. Standing back is Dason McMillan just inside his 30-yard line. And now the ball ready for play. And the play clock winding. Here's the snap. And the kick is away. Side spiral, bounces inside the 40. It takes a Maroons bounce and comes to a stop at the 39-yard line. So the punt of 29 yards. Galax offense hasn't been able to move the football quite as well here in the second half. But they also haven't really tried to throw it here in the third quarter. They've been just trying to work the clock, which is at 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. So the Maroons will get it from their own 40. Again, they've had good starting field position, just have not been able to finish the drives and avoid turnovers. Handoff to McMillan up the middle. And the wide receiver into the backfield that time to get 2 yards up to the 42-yard line. Conversely, for the team down 45 points, the Maroons don't really seem to be trying to score in a hurry. They're going status quo offensively in terms of tempo. Seemingly accepting their fate in this one. 9-2 season, only losses to Radford and to Galax in the regular season. Quick pass far side caught by Tillison, and he's wrapped up by Pickett up across the 45-yard line. Sawyer's also in there in coverage. And so that will bring up 3rd down and 5. The line to gain is midfield as the rain has seemed to pick up a little bit now. It was steady drizzle this morning, and then around game time it was steady and moderate, and now it's, I don't think you can quite say pouring, but it's heavy and steady. Ball in the far hash. Wells motions out of the backfield, and they give it up the middle to McMillan, and he pushes forward and looks to be a little bit shy of the 1st down, but it will be 4th and a yard as he got it out to the 49. Minute 27 to play, 3rd quarter. Maroons moving from left to right, and Galax trying to hold the midfield stripe. 4th down and 1. They're 1 for 3 on 4th down today. Shotgun formation. Now McMillan motions out of the backfield, and they give it up the middle to Wells, and he's got the 1st down into Galax territory and down to the 48-yard line. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Clock rolling. The officials hopping up and down, trying to stay warm, just to give you a sense of the impact of this weather. Here's the snap, play action fake. Simmons fires over the middle of the field. The catch is made, and now breaking free is Tillison into the secondary. Bryson trying to drag him down, and he will pull him to a stop. His forward progress stopped at the 10-yard line. 19 seconds left to play in the quarter as Tillison broke away. And now it's a goal-to-go situation. This might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're at 5 seconds. There's no urgency. And so the Maroons content to walk down and try things at the other end of the field. 45-0 Galax after 3. And we're back with the final quarter after this. You're listening to Galax Football from WCGX The Cat.
I know, right? My boys is doing it today, ain't they?
Where the hot chocolate at down there, Jim? Drank all the hot chocolate.
Man, they won't give me none.
I wouldn't give you none either.
They say you got got
Don't
paid.
give nobody none. They won't make it.
I wouldn't give him any. He probably drank it off when I got here. Been out here for hours.
Yeah, they hold.
Final quarter coming at you from Galax High School. Maroon Tide leading at 45-0 over George Wythe, and they have dominated the series. They've won every meeting since 2015, including knocking the Maroons out of the playoffs last year and on the verge of doing so here again today. First and goal from the 10, though, as George Wythe is looking to break up the shutout. Simmons takes the snap, and the give is to Wells inside, and nothing doing. Daniel McKinney the first to hit him right at the line of scrimmage. And he's stopped at the line. No gain on the play. Second and goal coming up. This defensive front has been very good today. Early on, it looked like Simmons might break contain a few times, but since then, nothing much. John Brown, Lee Peoples, Daniel McKinney, Riley Jovant. Brenda Rojas has been in there a bunch up front, as Wells gets the call. Inside handoff and a gain of 2 as he gets down to the 8-yard line. And again, interesting that they don't really seem to be going hurry up, going with any tempo, trying to make a comeback. They're just on the same page as Galax at this point, trying to run out the clock. They'll spread it out now, 2 wide to either side. Ball on the near hash. McMillan and Jolly far side. Regelsberger and Tillison to the near. Simmons in shotgun, Wells to his right, play clock at 6. He takes the snap, looking to throw, fires to the end zone. It's overthrown, incomplete. Pass intended for McMillan, and now a late flag comes in. That from the back judge, and what's the call? Looks like it might be pass interference. They were running crossing routes. I don't know if someone got picked or if it's someone was held up in the process. And it will go against Galax. Pass interference on the defense, so that will push the ball forward to the 4-yard line. Half the distance. So an automatic first down. It will be first and goal from the 4. Under 10 minutes to play, and they give his to Wells up the middle, trying to push forward, and he gets it to the 3, maybe the 2-yard line.
Wells ball carrier. This will bring up a 4th down and goal to go for the Maroons. Ball's resting at the
They've announced it. It has on the scoreboard it's 4th down. It should be 2nd after the penalty. Oh, they waved off the penalty. So it is 4th down. They didn't get enough yardage to convert, I'm being told. So it is 4th down. 4th and goal from the 2. Simmons rolling right, directing traffic. Throws off his back foot, far side, incomplete. And it's a turnover on downs. Trying to get it to McMillan, running across the end zone and led him too much, and the pass incomplete. And so Galax takes over on downs. So that's the furthest today that George Wythe has moved into Galax territory. They come up short on 4th and goal from the 2, and now Galax takes over. So we've seen a few times they've turned it over on downs, 3 fumbles given away, an interception, and a blocked punt. Pickett standing in his own end zone, takes the snap, gives to Brown, running wide to the left, gets to the 5, to the 10, breaks free, 15, 20. Brown off to the races again, 30, 40, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and now he's going to let the defense almost catch him before getting in. 98 yards for Denver Brown, his 3rd touchdown today of 60+. That's got to give him 300 in the game. It will. He has been incredible. And for a guy who likes to put his head down and just rumble over defenders, to have that kind of breakaway speed to go with it, and his patience. I mean, he didn't quite leave the end zone. He was confident that he could. He was waiting for the play to develop. And then all of a sudden, nothing but green grass ahead as Ortiz adds the point after. And with 8:33 to play here in the second half, it's a 52-0 Galax lead. Brown today with rushing touchdowns of 63 yards, 90 and 98 yards, which I would think would be a career long. Incredible. And you know Galax is happy to have him back. I know there was concern at the end of last week. I even heard some of the Auburn coaches as they were leaving the stadium saying, man, like as much as, you know, we wanted to win this game, we hope Brown can be back for them moving forward. And today he's been back and then some. 316 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns to lead Galax up 52-0 here in the fourth. Ortiz kicking from left to right. Here's the run up and the boot. High end over end, far side yard line. So they ran Wells behind him. They faked the pitch, and Galax doesn't buy it. And they will start at the 25-yard line. First down and 10, moving from right to left. Maroon side again, 10-1 on the season, 4-0 they finished conference play. They can make it 5 wins against conference opponents with a win today. George Wythe has only lost twice entering play today, once to Galax. Maroons 3-1 in conference, 9-2 overall. Simmons comes out, ball spotted just inside the near hash at the 25. And on the option keeper, he'll run it straight up the middle, has some running room across the 30, 35, 40. And he's wrestled down from behind across the 40 out to the 41. So a 16-yard gain for Simmons on first down. 7:45 to play in the quarter and in the game. Galax with a lot of their reserves on the field now defensively. Quickest way to tell that is cleaner uniforms with all the rain. Quick throw out far side to McMillan, makes the catch in the flat, and he rumbles over a defender, but he's taken down at the 45-yard line. That's Mason Cox in there on the stop. And a 4-yard pickup on first down. Clock ticking to 7 minutes to go in regulation. Separating Galax from a meeting next week with Patrick Henry at Emory and Henry. Again, Patrick Henry holding on to beat Burton today, 24-0 the final. Ball spotted far hash, 3 wide far side, 1 to the near. They'll go with an end around. And now McMillan again looking to throw, fires it deep down the near side of the field, tipped up, bobbled and incomplete. Tillison, the intended target, nearly was able to catch it on the ricochet. Galax had the coverage with Jackson Alderman, who's onto the field for the first time. And he was able to get a hand in and punch the ball up into the air. And Tillison couldn't come down with it. So they've gone with that end around pass a couple of times today, the wide receiver throw. And it leaves them with a 3rd down and 6 yards. 3rd down and 5. It says 3rd and 4, but it's longer than that as Simmons drops back 7. Heaves it out far side. Catch is made just shy of the sticks and a big hit put on that will leave them short of the first down. That's Ian Ashworth who got there to make the stop right at midfield. They needed the 49. I'll actually mark him at the other 49, the own 49 of the Maroons. So it's 2 yards shy, and they'll go for it here on 4th down. 2 of 6 on 4th down today are the Maroons. Ball spotted far hash. 2 wide far near side, 1 to the far, 2 in the backfield, and Wells gets the carry. He's got the first down and more straight up the middle. as he sidesteps a defender and crosses the 45 and gets it out to the 42-yard line. 43 they'll call it. And so Wells able to move the chains with 5 minutes to play. It's 52-0 Galax. And the rest of this just a formality.
We've been in it for this long. I just played 5 more minutes.
Shotgun snap for Simmons, and again the handoff to Wells up the middle. And he's mad and dragged down from behind. That was Ronnie Horton holding on and waiting for the support to come to take him down on the play. He'll get it out to the 40. So that's a gain of 3 on first down. Ball at the middle of the field as the Maroons continue to march from right to left. Again, it's not been like they haven't been able to move the ball at all or that they've been pinned back. It's just been they have not finished drives and they've committed a bunch of turnovers. Too wide to either side. Regelsberger motions across the formation, and on a low snap, I think he was supposed to get it. Instead, Tillison will throw down, or instead it will be to Tillison on the pass, and he makes the catch at the 5 and gets into the end zone. McMillan on the wide pass to a fellow wideout in Davian Tillison. Yanni Capranos now on for the extra point. 61 of 64 this season in PAT. One Maroon late getting onto the field. The play clock is now down to 12, and they need another. Play clock at 10. There's some confusion. I guess they do have enough, or they'll kick it down a man, or they'll just take time. So Brandon Hart will call timeout, and it's a little bit disconcerting for him and his team to finally score and then not have the alignment properly set up to kick the extra point. So it's a 40-yard touchdown pass. And now we're awaiting the extra point try out of this timeout. So again, Capranos, the 5'7" junior who is the kicker for this Maroons team, is on. He wears black socks, everyone else with white socks. And now it's a fake, and Simmons will run it far side. He's the holder near the pylon, and he's knocked back, and he won't get it. Galax able to get there and deliver a big hit. I believe it was Ian Ashworth again who cut down the angle, and Simmons, who initially looked like he was going to get there, strung out and knocked back at the 1. So it's 52-6. The score remains. And Galax will get the ball back. And that's just a really uplifting play for everyone. Of course, the game well in hand, but to see a reserve player make that kind of play in that situation has the fans fired up, has his teammates fired up. Nice exclamation mark on this win. So Capranos now getting set to kick the ball away as the rain has seemed to pick up a notch. Again, the playing surface is perfect. Relatively new artificial turf. But on the track that surrounds it, you're starting to see puddles and just, some of the uneven spots on the track. And looking around behind us in the grassy hill and in the parking lot and the umbrellas in front of us, it's rained throughout the day. 3:52 left to play. Here's the run up, and a short kickoff will be taken by Beeman, one of the up men at the 25. Beeman out to the 30, spins out of a tackle, 35, still on his feet at the 40, down the near sideline up to midfield, still on his feet, tiptoed out of bounds. There's the athleticism on display again from Keaton Beeman. They'll spot him at the 44-yard line into Maroons territory. So a 36-yard return, just about. Galax will have the football again, 3:41 to play. Again, Galax will advance to play Patrick Henry. They're now 13-0 on the season following their 24-0 victory today over Burton. Pistol formation for Pickett. He takes the snap. Beeman in the backfield. He gets the call, or rather that's Nolan Lawrence straight up the middle. And Lawrence with a gain of 4 on first down up to the 40-yard line. Nolan Lawrence, a 5'8 sophomore, 175 pounds this season. 16 carries, 152 and a touch. But it's always interesting to try to preview and prognosticate about those matchups once you get to states. You know, seeing teams that not only you haven't played, but oftentimes don't have any common opponents, and trying to weigh the records and figure out what it all adds up to. Of course, up until last week, Narrows was undefeated, and George Wythe beat them fairly handily. Give to Lawrence again, straight up the middle, has some running room across the 35 and dives inside the 30. He's down to the 27-yard line. So the 11-0 record for Narrows, I mean, might be a little harsh to say it's an asterisk or invalid by any means, but the fact that Galax is up 52-6 on the team that beat that undefeated team means that any undefeated record, you know, it all comes down to who you've played, which is tough to determine if you have not played the same teams. 1st and 10 from the 28. Lawrence on the carry again, hops to his left and tries to drag a defender forward, but he was grabbed onto from his ankle and gets a couple of yards. Down to the 26-yard line where it will be 2nd down and 8. 1:45 to play in regulation. Two wide out to the far side. Colton Keeley and Nick Sawyer's in the slot. Johnson to the near side. Pickett in the pistol. Lawrence behind him. Shotgun snap and the handoff to Lawrence straight up the middle. Bulldozing his way forward inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Close to the first down. It will depend on the spot. If it's the 17, he's got it. If it's the 18, then he's still got it. They move the chains. 1 minute to play. Ball at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 for Galax, moving left to right. Stay with us on the post-game show. We'll give you all the final numbers, the scoring summary, and preview the matchup next Saturday. 40 seconds to play. Play clock at 5 and the handoff to Lawrence. Hops to his left, spins away from a tackler, dragging a defender inside the 10, and he's down to about the 6-yard line.
Please let him score. Please let him score.
And it looks like that will be the final play. There's a fan down to my left pleading to let Lawrence get a touchdown. But with the play clock ahead by 10 seconds, Galax will head to the bench. They'll let this one wind down, 10 seconds to go, and Galax will advance to the state semifinals with a 52-6 victory.